The district attorney, Mike Ramsey, will share those details of what exactly happened during Chico's officer-involved shooting back in November. Now, what you can see are those tire marks that were left in yesterday's pursuit. In fact, it ended right over there by that tree, and that's where the arrest was made.
Good morning, Megan. At the end of the day, we're glad the children are all right. Shasta County deputies arrested Charles Robert Jones.
Police can confirm there was an armed robbery here at the Starbucks near Forest in East 20th, and it happened around 5 a.m. this morning. There are several employees inside. They didn't want to talk to me, but what you can see on the door now, the reason AAA says it could be because of those low gas prices. We have some winter pet advice for you. So what they told me is you got to check the food and water because when it's cold, it freezes over. It must have been a very scary weekend for some of these guests at Motel 6. Police say they're looking for 2 men and 2 women. They're grooving, they're giving away their bags. Look at that, they're so excited because it's all about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and of course, you gotta wear pink, right? What you can see is that it's very clear, very calm, but it was a totally different story. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday morning. You can see a CHP copter, police, SWAT. The investigation found that the detective was justified in his actions. In fact, evidence showed that Detective Mark Bass acted in self-defense as well as to protect others. But now let's break down the events that led up to the death of Eddie Sanchez, a 34-year-old from Paradise. It started back in November when Chico police were investigating 2 armed robberies and found that Sanchez was the man behind each case. The investigation found Sanchez had gang ties and had a semi-automatic weapon. Detectives got a search warrant and went to check on a house on Pomona Avenue, where they believe Sanchez stayed. Because he was armed and dangerous, Chico PD brought in help from SWAT. The DA says surveillance plans were compromised because Sanchez saw officers.
In which Mr. Sanchez asked the officers who they were, what they were doing there. The officers in their tactical vests with long guns told Mr. Sanchez that what was happening is they were looking for a lost 4-year-old.
The investigation reports Sanchez walked away from the house with the woman, most likely for cover. 2 detectives, one being Officer Bass, approached and confronted Sanchez and the woman, but Sanchez ran off, reached for his gun, and aimed at officers. That's when the investigation shows Detective Bass shot 3 times, 2 of which hit Sanchez in the face. He then died 10 minutes later. The gun Sanchez used was cocked and loaded. Toxicology reports found Sanchez had alcohol as well as high levels of meth in his body. And as far as Detective Bass, he's considered to act appropriately and is back to work. And to be clear, the investigation was done by the Butte County OIS as well as the Critical Incident Protocol Team, which the DA says is separate from the Chico Police Department.
Chico Junior High will get a new science building. It'll have all the bells and whistles. The project engineer helps make it happen.
This is
For Po Tao, his work is deeply rooted.
Like I take some class over there. Like I say, you know, it's a pleasure to come back and do something like this for my old school, you know. And like I say, it's a dream come true.
Dreams which seemed impossible at one point. He was born and raised in a refugee camp in Thailand as a result of the Vietnam War.
It was pretty hard, going pretty much, you know, going to lunch.
At 7 years old, he came here, walked the same halls, where his mentor sparked his interest in science.
I went to Chapman School, and then to Chico Junior High, and to Chico High, and then to Chico State.
That's what he's doing. He's taking care of our school, he's taking care of our students, and he's making sure that, you know, this project goes without a hitch.
Tao's learned the latest technology and overcame adversities to make sure his alma mater stays fierce.
Not in love for people that are doing something like this. But I believe that if you don't give up, you take actions, work really hard, and believe in yourself, you will succeed.
When this is finished, he hopes it will inspire students the same way he was.
His advice for other people who want to give up or even don't speak the language is be persistent. If you put your mind to it, you probably will achieve it.